And they gave me a tour. I started to talk to them. I called my husband. I said, Chittagong is so noisy, so loud. I couldn't sleep the whole night. I could not sleep the whole night. I was in an apartment where I could hear the traffic the whole night long. Like, nobody sleeps at night here. But I said, the students are just, so you did it for me. You just completely did it for me. So I joined AUW in 2012. Moved so far away from US, which I considered my home, my family. I was there. But I came here because of the inspiring mission. And you, really. It has been a very exhilarating and deeply satisfying experience, and I love my job immensely. You, faculty, staff, inspire me each day to work hard. I love working, but I work hard because of you. But let me tell you a little bit. When I joined AUW in 2012, the university was very much going through growing pains. Its academic and administrative organizational structure was still underdeveloped. University rules, regulation, policies were yet to be defined clearly, and many decisions were made tactically with short-term focus and unilaterally by just individuals. But you know what this place has? This place has the energy and skills of very dedicated faculty and staff and a highly motivated student body. And I recognize that, and I'm so thankful that I recognize that. When I came in, I didn't know much about the past. I hadn't read any things that were out there in blogs or anything. So I came in with a very fresh mind, not knowing much. But I could, and I'm so thankful I could detect that, the energy, the passion, the dedication of the people here. And I think one of the accomplishments at AUW was, how do I channel? So whenever you're in a difficult place, you have to think positively. So I just stayed up one night, I couldn't sleep. I remember I said, how can I channel this energy and dedication to build a strong community, to bring AUW to be a properly functioning institution? I knew that was one of my priorities, to build a community. And of course, the first priority was academic excellence, the second was community building, the third was fiscal responsibility, and the fourth was sustainability. The fourth was external, also relationship. That's what I had presented to the board. And so this was an opportunity, coming to a place that is in such a mess. I hate to call it that way, but it was. It went through a lot of different leaders. Whenever you are in a difficult position, think of this as a challenge, and challenges are good in life. How do you turn challenge to an opportunity? How can I bring together these people? So what I had to do very quickly, I said, I can't do this alone. I have to build a good team. And I'm so fortunate I brought together senior staff members, deans, CFO, CEO, registrar, director of admission, a few others, a dean of students, and we work together. So important, all good decisions are actually made in a team. Remember that, all good things. People have lots of good ideas. Good ideas are cheap, but to be really making sure it's a good idea, implementing them requires teamwork, really requires, and I think I do have a very collusive, I can say, collaborative leadership and management style, and I wanted to, exert that in bringing a team together to put in place policies, systems, structure, procedure for smooth operation. And it required a lot of day-to-day work with all the offices. So it's hands-on. You just roll up your sleeves. You just can't say, all right, sit down and just say, these are these. I wanted to make sure that finance, IT, all of these. So there was a lot of safety and security. I mean, I was working with every single office very closely, because that's how you can actually see that things are happening. It's about accountability. Anyway, but especially for the long term, you have to give structure and discipline. This engagements, just to be working with so many different people and students, student government too. I worked very closely the first year and a half to bring in the governance, student government, has given me extraordinary opportunity to learn and to understand the university in depth, the different functions. What a great, rich experience I've had across all constituencies. Of course, I work with the board too, but being around you students, it just gives me the most satisfaction. Just to be in your events, my conversations with you, listening to your debates, your presentation. It really reaffirms my belief, I think it's a good belief, that AUW is the right place for me. It feels like the right place for me. So here I am, 2.5 years in Bangladesh. I never thought of coming back to Bangladesh, where I grew up. But now, being in this place, having this opportunity, going through this experience, I see Bangladesh in a very different light. And I'm so glad to be back to the country where I was born and where I grew up. And importantly, to be here at AUW. I don't think I would be as happy just being back in Bangladesh. It is AUW. And to be making a positive, I hope, making a positive difference in women's lives. So you have helped me in making the full circle. Thank you.
Dr. Aziz, thank you so much for sharing these stories with us. I feel like I've learned a lot. I hope you have too. I learned lots of things I didn't know about you. And so now we have one more similarity, which is that when I went to do research in Egypt, when I'd walk on the streets, people would also call me Indira Gandhi. They'd say, Indira.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So I got that too. But they didn't really know me, whereas your friends actually knew you, so there was a bit more understanding of your personality there. So let's open it up for questions.
Questions, yes. I'd be happy to. There are lots of things I didn't talk about my research and other things because I just wanted to give you the big picture. And the fact that what made me come to AUW.
No questions?
No questions.
This is a pretty unique opportunity.
Yes.
Question.
That was really wonderful to hear from
Thank
you.
you.
As you said that it was really important for you that your students learn in class, not the grade was important for you. But still, if we want to go out and we want to get a job, it's really important for them. The GPA is really matter for them. What you learn, they will not ask you what you learned. They will ask you what's your GPA. So.
Is that right?
Yes.
In most other places.
So how can we change people
Sure.
perspective in this mind that they don't think about GPA, they have to think about how much we learn.
That's right. Very good question. Her question is, does GPA really reflect your learning? I mean, when you go to the interview, they'll ask for GPA. And that's why American Association of Colleges and Universities, ACE, they've all started to talk about students' learning assessment of student learning. It is not the GPA. So the mindset is difficult to change, but lots of it is happening in the US. That's why people say US is a leader in higher education because also some parts of Europe, they're looking at student learning, the assessment of student learning. AUW is actually doing it. Your faculty member have started the programs. Yes, a certain level of GPA is necessary, right? It's a necessary condition. I don't think it's a sufficient condition, but it is necessary in the sense that they want to know you passed. And passing a course means you have had some level of motivation, that you have studied hard, all the other things that go into learning the subject matter. So yes, what you have to do, my suggestion to you is build a good resume. You may not have a 4.0 GPA, but if you have some good internships, if you can engage, our faculty are so wonderful, they'll take you on a research project, if you can talk about your research project. And also, you also have to learn how to do well in the interviews, really. And that's what we women, we don't teach women to be talking about themselves, to be assertive, but in a sophisticated way, not in that you are talking about your substantive accomplishments. You have to do that. Sometimes writing is important. So even if your GPA is not good writing skills, at an interview, if you write a very good cover letter, that will catch somebody's attention. Having a good resume. But it is really for you to convince someone that you have learned a lot. luckily we are doing assessment of learning, and it's a very difficult mindset to change, and I totally believe the GPA does not reflect your learning. It does to a certain extent, but it is not the sufficient condition. So hopefully you can talk about yourself in a different way, that you have learned a couple of work experiences like internship, where your supervisors can write a good letter of recommendation to your faculty. They're the best advocate. If you can get a good letter of recommendation where your faculty will say, her GPA is not very high, but she was a very hard-working person. Although her cumulative GPA is not high, but she did really well in my class. She wrote a wonderful, papers. That's how faculty write about you. So developing good relationship with the faculty, making sure you have a good letter of recommendations. I hope I have answered your. Definitely do internships, yes.
My question is that you said when you were doing your PhD thesis, that time you became a mother. So definitely it's a very challenging time.
Oh, yes.
But, how did you go through those challenges, and how did you manage to give time both to your family and at the same time to your
It's a
academic
great
life?
question. It's a great question. I actually literally took time off. I didn't do any thesis work when I had my two daughters. I'm so lucky my advisor was so understanding. And then I would go and try to make up things that I have learned. And one day she said, "You're not doing any work on your thesis, are you?" I said, "No, I'm not." I mean, advisors very quickly catch on how much work you have done. So I was very lucky that I could give my daughters the first 4 years of my time. And then I gave them to daycare for part-time, and then I went and did a little bit of my thesis and ran back and got them. So it was challenging. I also had a very wonderful partner in life who did lots of cooking and taking care, so that helped, because I didn't have anyone else to take care of. I didn't have grandmothers or mother or sisters or my mother there with me. It was challenging, but I knew, you see, there was an opportunity cost. I was delaying my PhD. There's a choice I made. I also knew the risk that I may not be able to get a good tenure track job. So that's a risk I was taking. All I can say, luck had something to do with it. So when my daughters were just, the second one was ready to go to kindergarten, that's when I got a full-time job. And in the meantime, I was doing part-time jobs, because I wanted the experience of being a teacher. I wanted to demonstrate that I'm a good teacher. So I stayed in touch. And I remember when they were both in school, and one summer, I just closed the door and just worked on the thesis. So within a month, I finished this thesis, but it was very focused. And I had a partner who did the cooking, and I said, "You got to do the cooking for this." So it was a partnership in raising the two girls. And then it's a challenge for women always to juggle between work and family. And so I was lucky I had a schedule that I could manage both, but at times it was hard. I can tell you, I remember when I became the chair, and luckily both my girls played hockey, ice hockey. And I hated to be in the ice rink because I was always cold. It was so I was lucky my husband could take the girls to the ice in hockey, and I would start working, I remember. And then I would put them to sleep, and I would start grading till midnight. I'm a night person, so that's how I did it. Difficult, but it can be done. Be hopeful, it is. You can do it. But you need support from other people. I was very lucky I had an advisor who was wonderful. Although she thought I would never finish. So at my thesis, I told her, I thanked her. She was so convinced I would never finish. In the thesis, I told her, I said, "You went beyond the call and duty of an advisor. Because of you, I'm successful. But also you understood the joys of motherhood, because my two daughters really showed me the true meaning of life and love." I wrote that on my thesis because they were precious. Yes.
The great shifting in your life when you came to Bangladesh, from US to Bangladesh. This is like a big step that you took.
Yes.
So you left your family there?
Yes,
You came
yes.
by yourself?
Yes.
Okay, at some points you didn't feel regret about this thing?
No.
And my other question is,
Okay.
are you intending to go back to the US one day?
Yes, I do intend to go back to US one day. Did I ever regret taking this job? Never. Never. Have I gone through difficult moments? It all had to do with our budget. Yes, it was always hard to deal with budget issues. You all came the first year, you would come with ideas. It was so wonderful to say yes to everything when you wanted more funding for events and your travel, your conferences. But it broke my heart to say no when you wanted to go to a conference and I couldn't fund you. Like a faculty came in and said, we need some extra money for a bus. Nothing, it's just like a bus, and I can't readily say yes. Because I had a VC's contingency fund where I could do all this, encourage all these wonderful initiatives. So yes, there were difficult moments with the budget. That's the one that has given me the most grief over here. Other than that, it has been quite wonderful. I've never regretted it. Tried to see my family as much as possible. We talk to them. I think I miss my daughters more than they miss me, as usual, because they have such wonderful lives. But we text. They love texting than calling. So they love writing message on Facebook. They don't realize that I don't even open my Facebook. Just 2 years. I open and say, oh my goodness, look at all the messages. But I see them. I've been fortunate. They have come, and I've tried, to see them as often. Actually, I've seen them more often than I had seen them when I was in the U.S. because they're older. They're older than you all are. So they're like 25, 26. So they have jobs, and that was one of the reasons I took this when they were out of the house, when they were no longer living with me. So it was easy to move out. Does my husband like it? No. But that doesn't matter. Well, he's very supportive, he's very encouraging. I share all my grief with him and all my joys with him. He's very supportive. We talk every night. We Skype. He doesn't Skype. He doesn't like Skyping. We talk. Yes, I will go back to the US to answer your second part of your question, yes. But I have never regretted even a moment at AUW. How can I with you being there? It's impossible.
I have a question.
Yes.
So how many of your father's daughters took his advice not to change their last name after marriage?
Almost all, except for one. She has the middle name. She kept
hyphenated?
Yes, she has. So 2 of the sisters who are in Bangladesh kept there, but the rest of them did not change their last names.
Yeah.
That is a pleasure having you in AUW. So I ask the question that which point you have to stick with your ambition, your plans, the first portion, and the second portion is this that if you would give percentage to your personal life and to your professional life, what would be the percentage?
Well,
What was the first
one? I missed the first part.
Like I want to ask you what have to stick with your plan and ambition that you have to do something for women.
Okay.
That is really a huge achievement. And the second part is this, that if you give a percentage to your personal life and your professional life, what would be?
Okay. Wow. Distribution. Are you going to be an economist or something? Yeah. Okay. The first part is what keeps me going, right?
Yes.
I'm passionate about women's education. And this is what, you inspire me. As I said, you motivate me, and wonderful faculty and staff inspire me to work. Yeah, I've always been very passionate about women's education. It's very critical that we educate women and for leadership positions, because we have to make a difference. We are an underprivileged group. We play a subservient role in this global world. I mean, across, not only in Bangladesh, in India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, in the US. Look at how many women are on board members, how many women are women presidents. When you look at the statistics I presented at a British Council, where are all the women, especially in research and in leadership positions? Very few. What is happening? What can we do about it? So that keeps me going, that we've got to do something. We have to change this world. So women's education is absolutely critical. Bangladesh has made a lot of strides in terms of primary and secondary education, but not in higher education. So that's one of the reasons I think that I want to dedicate my life to higher education. One day I also think about having a university for all women that we can, in wherever in the world, for all women. So that keeps me going, you keep me going. Faculty and the dedication and the energy of faculty and staff keep me going. The second word, pursuit. At AUW, I think I've dedicated my entire lifetime to professional work. To be quite honest, I work here late hours, as you know. I work late into the evening. I do spend, one thing I do is my personal life is the time I spend talking to my family in the evening. I do work out every day. So I try to take care of my health. So I do spend about 40 minutes, maybe working. However late it is, I'll work out. So that's the personal. And I'm listening to music now. First year, I don't know why I didn't listen to music. I was so busy, but now I'm starting to listen. I always listen to music in the US. I miss going to concerts. I miss cooking. I always loved cooking. I haven't cooked here at all. I don't know, which is terrible. But I just have recently, one night my husband wrote to me, so you're working so late. I said, yeah. I said, go to sleep. I said, I can't. I still have a few more hours of work. He said, all right, since you still have, listened to this music. It was Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan's music. And I have fallen in love with that man. I know he's dead. He's no longer alive, which I just found out. I was so mad when I found out he's no longer alive. And his music is unbelievable. So I listen to him when I wake up, while I'm getting ready, and I listen to him the last thing when I go to sleep. I have his music on and then I'm asleep. I also listen to Eric Clapton and other people too, but he's right now at the moment.
Your recent love.
My recent love. Very recent love. My husband laughs at me because I tell him I found a second love in my life. And Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan.
A university and a dead man.
Exactly. Exactly. I have not.
Nephew.
His nephew. I will try to listen. I don't think anyone will compare to Nusrat Fateh, but I will.
So I have to how much it was easy and how much it was difficult to find a good advisor?
It was very difficult. It wasn't easy to find a good advisor because when I went in, I was in a very high-powered econ. Most of my professors have got Nobel Prizes. Sargent, Lucas, Hurwitz, entirely all male faculty. It was not easy. I spoke with some, I asked, I never got a good answer. I never felt that, it was very, very difficult. I think things have changed. My PhD program was in the 80s. I hope things have changed. I don't know. And that was the most challenging. I just wanted to, and all my other female colleagues left. They could not continue with their PhD program because they didn't find the right advisor. They were on a topic. They could not find data. And my thesis was an econometric nightmare. I had a two-stage non-linear least square. I don't know whether you ever will know, maybe. It was, and my parameters were not converging. I mean, it was an econometric, I had to use instruments, whoever knows economics. My advisor was not in econometrics. She was more of a different kind of economist. So I had to find a good econometrician and someone who knew SAS programming. So it was not easy. I can tell you my PhD program was not easy. So it's very quickly, once you start graduate school, please find a good mentor if you can, or a good support group. I had some female colleagues and male colleagues, we worked together, although there was a lot of competition because they knew that about 2/3 will not pass, only 1/3. So we all knew that it was competitive. It wasn't easy. Even when I became an assistant professor, I was the only female person presenting at conferences. I was the only person chairing. So it was, econ business is very male-dominated area. I don't want to paint a rosy picture. It was not easy to find the right advisor, but I'm so fortunate I found one. Yes. Support.
So Fahima, you said your dad advised you to go to America as the place to go.
Yes.
And I can't agree more, at least at that time.
Great.
What would you do in terms of an academician, a leader in academics, to reverse that trend? I.e., what kind of institution, what are the quality of institution that are needed so that people from this part of the world don't go to the US but stay?
Very good, excellent question. This is a brain drain, capital moving out. And because the education system was so poor in Bangladesh, it has come, much better now. It's come far along. He became hopeless. He felt that we should go to the US, and he probably did the right thing. So I would say we have to have more good institutions in Bangladesh, India, and I think there are good institutions, but importantly, not just good institutions, access to higher education for women or people who would never have the opportunity for being educated with a world-class education. So I would, and that's a good question, Shapon, and I'm really dreaming of that we should have, if I have an opportunity, I would like to build another university similar to AUW in a developing part of the global world. I think we have to improve the quality of education. We have to. And importantly, what Shapon and I and Sarah Shabuddin, we went and we got educated and we are coming back. So we need to have institutions like AUW for us to come back, right? We want to be in a job where we are satisfied, we are rewarded. So yes, I would just have more quality education here. And then have, well, the best part about this, it's a very global world. You are dependent on different countries, that making sure that being internationally trained is also very good, because you see another way of doing things, which is always important. It's about diversity also. To have more internationally trained people coming in, to have the best of both worlds, really. If we can come to that sort of a place where we can we have such fantastic faculty members from the US, Georgia, and others who have made great sacrifices. And of course, Georgia has a very international background. She has taught in different countries. But to have this sort of people with such dedication and have opportunities for them to excel in a setting, in a good academic setting, it's important. But just to tell you, I talked about mentor, but I also at Hamlin, my mentor were the president and the provost, and they were both male, just to let you know. So I do not want to say there won't be male mentors. They were wonderful. They're the ones who told me, Fahima, you go out, do this fellowship, you need to be a leader. They're the ones who made me the chair. So you can have also very good male mentors, just to let you know.
Last question, Naima.
Like Dr. Aziz, I'm feeling that the time in AW is too short. Like liberal arts education are influencing us, and they are introducing us to new areas that we can have our major or something. But the thing is that I'm feeling that I want to do everything. I want to join every club. I want to have all majors. It's like all are my passions. I miss my professor that I don't have any class because I want to do it another.
Exactly.
What can I do?
That's a good problem to have.
Yes.
Yes. It's such a wonderful place and it's too short in time. I agree. I feel so. But that's good. Have that passion in life. I even couldn't decide what my major would be. I could not. That's why liberal learning, you have 2 years of the core curriculum that gives you the breadth of all these wonderful ways of thinking, wonderful perspectives of looking at an issue or a problem. I was an economist, but I became the chair of environmental studies. I developed interdisciplinary environmental studies that had economics, political science, culture, anthropology, then we had the natural sciences. That was one of the things, I'm so happy to do. Do the best. When I want to go back to my undergraduate years, because I really don't think I took full opportunity of all the things that I could have done. I didn't. I wish I did. So do take advantage of this experience. Do join as many clubs as you can, and have 2 majors, 3 minors, and no. But eat well and sleep well if you can manage that, and work out, and if you can all fit it in your schedule. Kudos to you. Bravo. Yes. But don't lose that passion. I love that. Keep that going. It's nothing like to enjoy life and enjoy every single thing. That is nothing like it, and to have all the hopes that you can. Absolutely. That's what makes life so wonderful.
If I can just add to that, one of the first things I said to Dr. Aziz when I first met her at AUW was that I feel like I'm coming back to Mount Holyoke. Right? So AUW, so one way in order to prolong your time at AUW is to graduate, go get your PhD, and come back and teach.
Come back and
right?
teach.
And then you can be part of this wonderful community all over.
Or AW fellow.
That too.
Something. But yes, I'm so